Hello everybody, Sim Privyet. Today we're going to work on the hero swap screen, which is this screen when two heroes meet each other and they want to exchange artifacts or creatures or really whatever. That's what we're going to build. So I want to show you, first of all, let's just recruit another knight. And we got two heroes here. We're going to show you that we can't really do a hero swap here. And when two heroes collide, their sprites collapse and the sprite disappears. So that's a bug that's going to need to be fixed at some point. But currently the hero screen is not working. So what I do, I give it this image, of course, of a screen with a description. I give it my usual dialogue. Here's might&magic dialog bin format file and the binary file for the swap window, but we can actually just pull that up in the hex editor here and have a quick look at what that is. Let's see, scrolling down to get this file, and it is called swapwin. There we are. Okay. So inside this screen, I'm just looking at this, swapwin.bmp is the background. So let's pull that up, have a quick look at what that looks like. This is the swap window. So it has a built-in background for these various elements. Has the built-in borders for the portraits, built-in sort of text box area. That's what we're dealing with there on the background. It uses some fonts. It says attack skill, defense skill, spell power, knowledge. And then it has a whole bunch of these little small font things, which I think are the numbers. I think that's for these numbers of the creatures in each unit box. And that's what these monster 32.icns are. And then here it has artfx.icn. And let's just pull up artfx, which is this is a smaller version of the artifacts. You'll notice, here's a good example. The horseshoe has a blue background, but then if we go and look at artifact, I guess the horseshoe still has a blue background here. But it's just a smaller version of these fancier artifact images that are, well, bigger. You don't have the same. The horseshoe is golden in those, and it's not golden here. So that's what I wanted to highlight. I misspoke. See, the horseshoe is the golden horseshoe, and it somehow loses its luster. The gold is turned into lead. Or probably iron in this case. But these are the smaller forms of the artifact. So that's the sprites that we're going to be using. And then also at the bottom it shows this swapbutton.icn, which let's just have a look at what that is, just because. Swap button. So it's just an exit button. That's it. Nothing fancy. I don't see. This is probably a monochrome thing that's been decoded incorrectly. I'll have a look at that as well. But yeah, we're swapping out of that. So the hero needs to be able to target another hero with an X, and heroes on a tile means the tile is non-passable. So I'm trying to get it so the heroes collide, but they can't walk on top of each other. I'm giving it the map cpph and render map cpph to make it work, and I think I also include route.h. Yep. The hero swap screen is the background swapwin BMP from Heroes AGG. It's 448 by 448. square pixels and covers the viewport portion of the screen. Now, this shows a little bit of the viewport around it, but the height of the screen is 480 pixels, and so 448 means that there's a 16 pixel padding on the top and the bottom. So 32 pixels plus 448 is 480. So basically that tells us we can just deduce the position there, and it's covering the viewport. So we have to probably add a padding of 16 pixels on the X direction as well. And that would probably center this correctly. Swapwin.bin is included so you can extract some of the layout, and then each hero portrait is displayed in the portrait box. And there are 5 boxes that display each of the creature units, monster32.icn, and the number of the creature units is centered below each box. The mini artifact slots also display the artifact images from artfx.icn, which we just looked at, but probably need to be loaded into resources.cpp. And then we should be able to move heroes from one inventory to the other. Troops can be moved from one hero army slot to another on this screen, and it's basically the same functionality as troop move CPP. When we've done that before between the hero and the castle garrison, or between the hero, like between individual hero army slots on the hero screen, we also do the troop movement. So I attach the screenshot, and I show at the top of this screenshot, it's like Ergon meets Vatana. So we have that. Hopefully you can infer the XY width and height of each frame using this dialog bin format MD and the attached screenshot. The exit button is from swap button. We're going to need to load that. And then each hero portrait takes you to a hero preview screen for that hero, just like the recruit screen, and it has no dismiss button. So I actually just want to pull up the game and show the correct functionality here. That'll, I can talk through the text here, but a picture is worth quite a bit. Clicking on the crest on that hero screen will take you to the kingdom summary. So this is, again, just like the this is just like the preview screen for, and there's also, note this cursor here, this back and forth arrow is the swap screen. So this brings us up here, but we can get all the way to the kingdom overview screen from inside here. Well, we can swap these around. There's no dismiss button, notice. And we can combine different troops here. We can look at this guy and exit. So that's what we're trying to build here. And so most of that logic is similar to our hero pool, and I include that in game main for the recruit hero logic. We needed to trigger the hero swap screen when the two heroes meet. I don't know what, meet at do a, I'm not sure what I was trying to say there. That's a nice little English typo. Meet at do a pickup style event on each other. That is not correct English for my non-native English speaking viewers. Two heroes meet and let's just say and do a pickup style event on each other, or trigger a pickup style event on each other. The hero swap screen is placed over a viewport, over the viewport, as I said earlier, the viewable map area. The hero portraits are loaded in and displayed. Left clicking only on either portrait takes the user to the down the hero preview logic path and includes the possible one layer deeper kingdom screen path. Left clicking on any creatures or artifacts brings up the same tooltip as in the hero screen, and moving troops between heroes is the same logic as troop movement between garrison and heroes in the castle screen, including the shift click to split stacks, but the selected troop is highlighted with a yellow box. The same dialog is created for splitting troops between heroes. Moving artifacts is the same as troop move. Any stat updates are to be computed and reflected immediately in hero stats. So the hero stats displayed at the top of the screen are to be the effective stats. Artifacts can be moved to an empty slot. The only exception is for swapping artifacts is the spellbook. Any attempt to left click on that artifact to select it for swapping results in a modal dialog box with OK that says this item cannot be traded. I may need to add additional files you don't have here, like dialog utils, CPP, so please ask for any additional files instead of assuming. And let's take a moment to analyze and plan before implementing the code. And then when you implement the code, I prefer to generate the files rather than generating patches when possible. So those last two bits are just some little prompt, clean, just making the AI behave better. Just kind of basic instructions to help it behave how I want it to behave. So does some analysis, comes up with a plan. It does analysis, or it does properly extract a lot of these values from the swapwin.bin. I don't think it gets it perfect, but it does okay. The stats area, I think, is the one that it messes up here. But everything else is looking pretty good. It's going to create swapwin CPP and H. It's going to modify resources and load in the artifact frames, the swap button frames, the swapwin background. Also needs to see map.h, recruit.h is what it thinks, where it thinks my hero state pool from pool entry is, but that's actually in hero pool. So I think it's just assuming incorrectly that recruit.h is where that would be, because it saw recruit.h in the headers of those files. So it assumes, oh, that's probably where you recruit hero, instead of realizing that that's where I have my recruit creature, recruit unit logic. So anyway, it continues, but then I'll just proceed with reasonable assumptions about the missing files based on what I've seen. No, you're not going to do that, because you're already thinking recruit.h is where it is. So I just had to stop it immediately, and I dropped in the files that it was looking for. This hero pool, dialog utils, the hero screen, the castle screen, the kingdom screen. I just threw everything in there plus map.h. And let's plan on the 14 heroes. I guess I meant artifact slots per hero. You missed one in your reading of the swap button. There should be 14 hero slots per hero, as you expect. So it had said here it only detected 13 left column slots and 14 right column slots for the artifacts. And I said, no, you're right that it's 14 on each side. So let's keep the troop move logic in troop move and add a third slot context, hero B, as you thought. And let's not create a new file or new system. Let's just keep all of the troop movement logic for this hero swap screen. Let's put that in the troop move file just to keep it all together. There's no real reason to move it, just to create a new file for that. That just doesn't seem practical. So reads through some stuff, has to continue again. This was a little expensive in terms of tokens. But we finally get our swapwin H, swapwin CPP, updates, adds this method for the slot context for hero B, which is basically just the same functions but adapted to the swap window, and then loads the resources in resources.cpp, and then has the trigger for the event in game main when two heroes collide. Basically, it does the hero swap screen is an event that consumes clicks and different actions. Like basically, you can't do anything until you click exit. You can't do anything else in the game until you exit this screen. So it's an event that you have to actually exit. And then I guess there's a render loop where you insert the hero screen into the rendering of the game. So it actually renders on screen. And talks a little bit about something to watch out for in game main. And then it also says, well, I can't edit route.h. It's weird because I've had this a couple times now where the AI is like, oh, well, I can't edit this file that you uploaded to me. And I'm like, why can't you? Why can't you edit route h? You totally can. How does that change the results? So it does make some minor changes. And it fixed a workaround in game main where it was doing some like find route tile. Like basically it was saying if you route through a hero, it will trigger the hero exchange screen as if you like walk across another hero. And I was like, well, you're not even supposed to be able to walk across another hero. So I'm glad that that got fixed. So again, we had the troop move, resources, swap win, that was all updated. Game main, I think it removed some logic that was incorrect and it updated route H correctly. We got some compile errors. Some namespace issues, some other things, and let's have a look at what the build was at this point. Dimitri the Knight. He's gonna go pick up the dragon sword and bring it back to this guy. Okay, so the music stopped. The screen is not centered over the viewport. The mini map has disappeared. The locators have disappeared. The adventure buttons disappeared. The mini status screen disappeared. Can we move this? Yep, we can. This is also kind of interesting. So it populated all of the empty artifact slots with the empty creature slots from the hero screen. When I click up here, there is no hero screen showing up, so that's not working. The naming is correct, and the number placement here for the stats is not correct. But you will notice that when I move the sword, which gives you +3 to attack, it does update. So Sir Gallant now has 4 attack and Dimitri has 4 attack. So that's cool. The other thing that's interesting is this was a green background, if you remember, and these were also colored a different way. And this has actually brought in the split, or not the split, the strip.icn backgrounds for each creature. I kind of like that effect, but it's a little bit noisy. So we are using the correct sprites here. We do get the tooltip when we right click, which is nice to see, but we're not getting the tooltip like with the OK, dismiss, or sorry, it's exit and dismiss. We're not getting that tooltip here. We're now also not getting a tooltip with the artifact, so we can't easily find out what artifact this is. It also looks like there's a little bit of a border here that's off center. There's something funny off-centered with this hero portrait. When we click exit, it then brings up the hero screen. So I guess that hero screen was brought up, and the music is suddenly gone until we move again. So Dimitri has also, so Sir Gallant has disappeared. Sir Gallant doesn't have the sword, but let's just make sure that Dimitri and Sir Gallant can actually swap the sword here. So let's give Sir Gallant the sword and then have him move. Have Dimitri move. And Sir Gallant does have the sword. So we are able to do a basic swap. So, you know, not terrible for the first real pass, but let's see if we can get it to work better. So it's sort of functional, not bad. Hitboxes are mostly correct. There are a few bugs. Artifacts are working and swapping, but we don't need the background for the empty artifacts for creatures. So I deleted that part. So I actually just removed it manually. The artifact tooltip on the right-click right mouse button of the artifact should work exactly how it does in the hero screen files. It should be an easy change to make to get this RMB tooltip to work. The screen rendering is off, including layout.h and render UI, CPP in case they're helpful. The hero swap screen covers the viewable map portion of the board.png, and the render UI panels should be rendered as if they were, or as they were beforehand. So we need to show the mini map, the adventure buttons, the locators, the summary panel, but note that they're not clickable. This is the relevant part of layout.h. And here I'm also highlighting that this is the viewport X, viewport Y. I think that this should be X equals 16, Y equals 16, and the creatures should single click to select, and double clicking should open up the animated troop dialog box with an exit button where the dismiss button is also displayed. This is the same behavior as the hero screen. Clicking on a hero portrait should bring up the hero screen over the entire screen. Currently, the hero screen only appears when I click on the portrait and then click exit from the hero swap screen. The logic is missing this point. The kingdom screen works okay once in the hero screen. I didn't actually test that on what I demoed for you guys just now, but the hero screen preview being entered from the hero swap screen and displaying over the hero swap screen is the missing logic piece. So let's just have a quick update here. Let's go pick up the arcane necklace of magic. We'll go back. Let's have Jojosh talk to Sabu. We'll give him this. We'll give him this. Click there, and that didn't appear. The kingdom screen does appear. Yep. And then we exit, and Jojosh now has the arcane necklace of magic. So yeah, that checks out. That's what the current status of the build was. It does some updates to the render origin. Double click, portrait click, opens hero screen immediately. Does another version. Let's have a look at what the next build was here. So this is called layout fixed. Hero swap screen still buggy. So let's see what bugs we can identify. Okay, so we can move this. We're not getting the tooltip when I right click on it. When I left click on the spellbook, it tells me it can't be traded. So that's correct. We're still not getting the tooltips here when I double click. The stats are aligned better. And so is this image. I think I actually went and manually adjusted that. But you know, it's kind of working. We did remove these extra backgrounds, you'll notice too. So these are how things are supposed to display, and I think the box location for each of these is also looking good. So and the music is gone, notice too. So the music disappeared. So the day the music died. So the hero screen's showing up, but the kingdom summary is now not showing up when I click on it. Oh, I forgot to test that too. So we'll do a quick one. So music's gone, but okay, the hero screen shows up again under, and the kingdom summary is showing up. So I don't know. I'm not sure why I would. Okay, but also the music is being paused for the hero swap screen. It should continue to play the terrain music and the ambient sound engine. So anyway, play through this. Let's have a look at what the next build is here and see if we fix those. So the music seemed like it was remaining there, which is cool. Okay, now we're getting this when I double click there, and we are able to move them around. Does dismiss work? Oh, dismiss button doesn't work. That's interesting. Okay, I should probably fix that. The tooltips are not working still on this. Spellbook looks good, but yeah, I'm not getting the artifact identifier. But the creature tooltips are working without the dismiss button. Oh, actually it did work. It just didn't work if it's in the first slot, maybe. Oh, that's weird. Oh, the second hero can't dismiss. Huh. That's a strange bug. Let me see if I can dismiss here. No? Now, dismiss doesn't show up here, but dismiss doesn't work for the second hero at all. Okay, interesting. So, but this does seem to be functional here, correct? And let's also just check one more thing. Yep. So yeah, it's a little better. The music's working. I want to update the documentation. Okay, but then so I updated the documentation, but then I noticed that the right mouse button for artifacts is not working. And here are the latest files. Let's see if we can fix the right mouse button tooltips with artifacts. So run through here and push it around a little bit. It's really struggling a little bit, but let's see if we have a final build here that got that working. Nope, that is not working. So this is probably not the right build, actually. Did I fix it later? No, here it is. Here's the bug that was fixed. So I ran this after that other one. So we get the dragon sword. We got gem. Okay, now we're getting these. And actually, it's only a right click. The double clicking does not actually bring it up. I think I tested that. But this does give us the right tooltip here. It gives us a tooltip for spells. We can't swap them. Now the only weird bug is that we can't dismiss from the second hero. We can only dismiss from the first hero. So that's the remaining bug that we have, but otherwise the hero swap screen is working. I mean, I guess we also have this bug where the heroes are actually like overlapping each other and the sprite disappears. So that is still another bug that we're gonna have to fix. But you know, the hero swap screen was I think it was actually a pretty tricky implementation, and I think the biggest advantage was just being able to decode the swap window bin file to really give us all of these different locations of where the hitboxes were and where the icons would have to go, because I really just had to adjust the portrait a little bit and the stats area a little bit. That's really all I did to get it to work correctly. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, and it's not perfect yet, but it's pretty close. And I actually want to just test one more thing just to double check that the hero screen previews and the kingdom screen previews. Let's just make sure that that works. So we can pass the ring. We can go to the kingdom screen. I wonder, can we dismiss from here? Yeah, we can dismiss from inside the hero screen. But we cannot So yeah, we can dismiss from inside the hero screen, but we cannot dismiss from the second hero screen. So that's one remaining bug, that the second hero is not able to dismiss, and then also that the two heroes are overlapped in terms of sprites, and one becomes invisible. So there's something with passability that I have to check, and then I also want to update the. So instead of this hero icon, when I have this is Ariel. When I have Ariel selected, this should actually be the hero exchange button when I highlight the other hero. Or the hero exchange mouse cursor. So that's the those are the 3 bugs remaining with the swap screen. But we made pretty good progress towards being able to exchange artifacts and creatures and split things. Like it's pretty key to be able to hand armies and assets over between heroes.